For mid-budget, you're going to be looking at maybe engaging a mixture of PMCs and scavs. Okay, if you're going to be solo, your suppressor's your best friend. Being able to engage effectively from long range is very, very important in Tarkov, and I think it's something that a lot of people not ignore, but neglect. Okay, this is going to be the medium budget build. So what sort of things are we going to be looking for with this chat? Again, we're not going to go crazy, all right? But stuff like the RK3 really helps with your ergo. Now, let me try that again. Ergonomics is really important. Guys, exclamation ergo in the chat will give you an idea of what it does, okay? But essentially, ergo is like the handling. Imagine a car. Ergo is the handling of the weapon, right? Okay, next thing that I want to do is get that Zukov on there. Okay, the Zukov is insane. The Zukov is so good. It's got great ergo. As far as I'm aware, at this point, at the time of recording, guys, it is like the best AK stock in the game. I think it's an absolute beast. So for that already, I mean, so we had low budget. Now we've got mid budget, 74N. Okay, we'll just save it as we go so we can sort of keep a running total as well. So mid budget 74N. I mean, we've greatly increased the stats. We have greatly increased the stats there. Okay. And so put this thing together for these two parts, 28k. You know, these are really well priced as well. That's what I'm saying. These are really well priced. For mid-budget, you're going to be looking at maybe engaging a mixture of PMCs and scavs. Okay, if you're going to be solo, your suppressor's your best friend. Okay, get that suppressor on there. The PBS4 does have decent recoil. Obviously, I think you lose a little bit of ergo on there, and you probably lose a bit of accuracy as well, base accuracy. But as far as I'm aware, the PBS4 is the one. Okay, the PBS4 is a great little suppressor, really accessible. You find them everywhere. They're super cheap on the flea market. I know we're using traders at the moment, but they're incredibly cheap. You know, for 20k or so, you've basically just hidden yourself from 3/4 of the map. That's what I'm saying. Speaking of handguards, obviously handguards are really important. To be honest, I think something like, if we're going for price-wise, I think the Zukov, the Magpul Zukov view might be a decent addition. And you can always go for something like a little AFG on there as well. So we're looking like 68, 66. If you wanted to go for a different sight, you could either go for, let's say, a PSO. Okay, PSO is obviously really cheap. Yeah, I'd say that's not a bad little build. I mean, you've got great ergonomics. Your recoil is not too bad, okay? So I'd say, if you wanted to go for the PSO, I know a lot of people don't really like the PSO. So, for example, if you wanted to change that up, you could go for the, where is it? The Bastion, for example. Okay, I think the Bastion is the most accessible dust cover for the AK. And then that just gives you a lot more freedom of choice. So you could go for, again, I would always recommend going for a site where you can engage from long range. Okay, being able to engage effectively from long range is very important in Tarkov. And I think it's something that a lot of people sometimes, not ignore, but neglect. I know a lot of you guys might go for a Valde. Okay, Valde is really good site for a majority of the player base. Okay, it's a 1-6 times. It's supposed to have 1 through to 6, but we haven't got that in game yet. Okay, so currently it's a 1 and a 6 times. Okay, you switch between the two, which gives you close quarters, and it gives you obviously long range engagement opportunity as well. So it's, as far as a kind of medium sort of build, we've skimped out a little bit on the handguard. We've skimped out on the handguard. It's not ideal. Okay, but again, this is what happens when you're building weapons to a budget. This is the kind of things that you need to be thinking about. So we're actually getting quite expensive here, and the PBS4 is not available to buy from a trader. Again, thinking about the handguard and thinking about the sight, maybe we could do something a little bit better. Okay, we might be able to do something a little bit better here, because this again needs to be budget, right? This is just me getting excited because I love building guns. I think, what was this, 21k? What's the RS47 going for nowadays? 45. We're losing a lot of ergonomics there. Yeah, I'd say probably use this, I think something like this would be ideal. And then for your close range engagements, go for the old X400. I think this is probably your best bet. Could use the B10M handguard as well. It will allow for the canted sight. True. But this is the thing. This is the tough part, because with medium, when you're going for like a medium budget build, I mean, we're looking at 60, 66. That's not too bad, okay? You reckon something like the B10M? And then a nice ergo-y handguard, foregrip. I quite like this, actually. I think the RVG is actually quite good. Yeah, if you wanted to go for a canted. The only problem with a canted, guys, is the cost of the PK06. 30,000 rubles. Right? 36,000 or wherever it is. This thing is going to be expensive now. In fact, it's not too bad. We saved a lot of money on... Oh, it's not actually... Wait a minute. It's counting parts that we already have. Alright, now... Yeah, this is going to be way more accurate now. $154k. So you're already, you know... Let's take the weapon off there. You're already going into, like... expensive territory. The suppressor's another 20k, so you're looking 130k there. It's the PK06. The PK06 drives that price up like crazy. Depending on how your point firing is, man, like depending on how your point fire is, you could get away with not using that at all. Just go for like an X400 on the side. Use the laser. You know, I think this is probably your best bet. You're looking at about 83,000 plus the 40k for the weapon. You're looking at 120k for a weapon that's going to be fairly decent. I think this is your best bet for like a mid-range. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the PK06 isn't a good choice for medium budget. You're absolutely right. I mean, here we're looking at 53 ergo, 63 recoil. You could always change that up as well if you wanted to put something like a shift on there, which is quite expensive. It is level 4 Peacekeeper as well. If you wanted to go for something like the Express, you might get away with that. Looking at 56, 64. So, but again, obviously, you know, you're starting to drive the price up as well. Again, it's a real balancing act. Do you know what I'm saying? So 120, 130k, not including the suppressor, 140k, let's say for the suppressor there as well. We're on that verge where we're starting to like get expensive, do you know what I'm saying? So we've got like a 60k build, 100 and something k build. Building on a budget is always hard, but you know, this should help you kind of figure out something that's good. Now, obviously, this is the part that's you guys are going to enjoy. All right, so we've got our two kind of AKs there. So we've got the low budget, we've got the mid budget, and then we're going to put together the bad boy Chad machine. This is the mid tier. Mid-budget, you're looking about 100, I think it's about 140,000 rubles for this. It's about double the price, but you get a lot more performance for it. You're looking at 53 ergo, 63 vertical recoil, and for me personally, I think this is probably the best balance in between spending a lot of money and spending nothing. Okay, your mid-tier 140k AK there. I think this is probably the best balance in between the two. All right, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to load into the next raid. This is the mid-tier 74N. Obviously, it's not guaranteed that the scav boss is going to be there, so we'll just run the raid again. We'll see how we get on, and then we'll go from there. We've been doing some experiments with different weapon builds. It's been a lot of fun. Did he see us?
Сука ты, блядь, и упырь, блядь, гнид! Хуйло ты, блядь, а ты хуйло ты, конец тебе, блядь! Сдохни, тварь!
That was bad.
Гнида!
That was bad. Yeah. Let me kill you. I guess this is why no one uses PSOs. I'm gonna say it, chat. I don't like the PSO scope anymore. Ooh.
Блядь, беру! Ах ты кепка ёбаная!
He's seen us.
Лизада, козел! Да вон, вон!
Yes, one tapped him. Woo! We'll just edit out all the misses. That would be great. We'll just edit the rest out, yeah?
Nope.
It's been really quiet. We killed 3 PMCs in the last raid on the low gear. We didn't find any PMCs whatsoever on the medium gear, but we did kill a lot of scavs. Okay, we did a little bit better. Okay, we did a little bit better. We only had scavs. We didn't really have any PMCs that we come across, unfortunately. But we killed loads of scavs, so great for a scav killing weapon. And it was great. Everything went well. Oops.